thought I was going to fail. I'd studied for 3 years, but nothing felt like enough. The pressure crushed me. I even had a panic attack on New Year's Eve. But I kept praying, and what God did in the end left me in tears.
Whether you're seeking true stories, real-life Christian testimonies, uplifting moments, or just a little bit of hope, you can find it here. This is Kingdom Chronicles. When it comes to school, sometimes it's not just the tests and quizzes that feel overwhelming. It's the pressure, the fear, and the feeling that you'll never be enough. This next story isn't about someone who had it all together. It's about someone who clung to God through their lowest moments, and what she did will leave you speechless. This is Tiffany's testimony.
Last year, I sat for my national grade 12 exams, 8 subjects in total. For 3 years, I had been trying to prepare, but I knew deep down it wouldn't be enough for the kind of results I was aiming for. I was in the pure sciences class, which is often stereotyped as one of the hardest streams. It definitely came with its challenges. I prayed a lot. There were moments I felt completely discouraged, like it was too late and I'd never make it. But I took it all to God in prayer. Studying was hard. I felt overwhelmed so many times. Waking up to study was a battle, and some concepts just wouldn't stick no matter how many times I went over them. I pushed myself to stay up late, attend after-school tuitions, and just keep trying. There were moments I completely gave up, but I had to keep finding the strength to start again, and every time I did, I know God gave me that strength. I remember New Year's Eve the year before my exam. I was so anxious that when we crossed over into the new year, I honestly think I had a panic attack. It hit me that I had only a few months left to prepare for one of the biggest exams of my life, and I felt completely unprepared. There was so much to study, and 2 subjects in particular had me feeling defeated almost the entire time. Even as the exams approached, I didn't know everything, but I kept praying and crying out to God. There were times I genuinely thought I wouldn't make it. The pressure, the fear, the self-doubt, it got heavy. But I kept praying, and I also reached out and talked to people who helped fuel my faith when I felt like mine was running low. Their words, their prayers, and just knowing I wasn't alone made all the difference. Then one day when I felt overwhelmed again, I found this website. I started reading through the testimonies, and I remember feeling so encouraged. I told myself, one day I'll come back and give my testimony too. I still stumbled and felt discouraged after that, but I never let go of prayer, hope, and faith that somehow God would make a way. He even surrounded me with people who constantly prayed for me throughout my preparation, during the exams, and while I waited for results. When exam season came, I was amazed. So much of what I had studied, especially the content I felt nudged to go over the day before, showed up in the papers. In some exams, I felt like I had no clue what to write, but I kept going, and somehow the answers came. I truly believe God gave me wisdom in those moments because I was writing things I hadn't even fully grasped before. When the results finally came out, I was in awe. Our exams are graded in points, with 1 being the highest grade and 9 being the lowest. I got 1s in all 8 subjects. I broke down in tears of joy and praise. It was more than I could have ever done on my own. This was God. To anyone stressed about school or preparing for their exams, it is never too late for God to step in. Trust in Him and take everything to Him in prayer. Do your part, but remember that nothing is impossible for God. He did it for me, and I believe He can do it for you too.
Tiffany's testimony is a raw, honest look at what it's like to battle anxiety, fear, and academic pressure, all while trying to hold on to your faith. Tiffany was a high school student in the intense pure sciences stream, and she shared the emotional roller coaster of preparing for national exams. From late-night study sessions to moments of complete despair, prayer became her anchor. Even when she didn't feel ready, and especially when it felt too late, she kept going back to God. Community played a huge role too. With people lifting her up in prayer, she even found strength in reading other people's testimonies online. And that is one of the reasons why I do this. When exam day came, the exact topics she reviewed appeared on the test. Her results? 8 straight distinctions. What she once thought was impossible became her reality, not because of her strength, but because God showed up in the details. This story is a reminder that God is present even when our confidence fails. It's a testimony of how faith can carry us through fear, and how nothing, and I mean nothing, is too hard for God.